certainly the best.
Hello, viewers. Welcome to Viewpoints on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji, and today on Viewpoint, we're going to be talking about the current electricity issues and situations that we as business owners, as individuals, are facing in Nigeria, as over 80% of households lack adequate access to grid, as Nigeria's electricity sector suffers from chronic liquidity trap and infrastructural decay, leading to frequent national grid collapses, with generation dropping below 4,200 megawatts, far short of the 4,000 megawatts required for its citizens and population. It is a Viewpoint on ITV, and we're going to be looking at some of the key issues affecting our electricity sector in Nigeria. I am Caroline Okonji.
In terms of security of it, we need light. And based on that, in some areas, it makes it difficult for us when we are on patrol at night. And we are even begging the state government to try and do something, at least by supplying street lights in some area that are dark in the night. In most cases in our community, there are places that is very dangerous, that without light we cannot do anything of such. For so doing, we want, as a matter of urgency, the Edo State government to try and do the needful, so that the security will be okay for us, so that we can be able to work effectively.
The issue of NEPA issue that you came from is very rapid to us, in the sense that the NEPA look as if we are not a citizen of Nigeria, because since a month there's no light in us. We have been passing through. Which NEPA, anytime they came, a minute or 30 minutes to, they will come and they will bring the light to us. That is, we are not expecting them to come and collect their bill. Indirectly, we are expecting bill from them to come and collect. Within that hour or 2 hours, you will see a number of people with a LiDAR. They will come. They will come. And after their collection, there's nothing like light again. They will block us up. I think before we have this light, they mandated us to buy a meter, which we bought individual. We pay through the NDC, we have our transformer here, not through NEPA. Before we got out this light, they mandated us to write an application of submitting it to the NEPA as a will to them. And we work for it. We should not claim ownership. And we fought for the transformer. And after that, again, they came that there is no oil in it. We pay up to 1 point something a day. Before, after all that, they came up again, said it was meter issue again, that every community, every houses had to have a meter, which we did. We have to. I have my own receipt. I have my paper meter in my residential house here. So after all that again, they came up with a past bill. We, before we make that transformer, bought that transformer, we've been glad out for 10 years here. They came with a bill to us again that we need to pay a standing bill. We went to Tesame, their office there. After we left the one at the bypass, they were delivering us. Before they now refer us to the one at bypass. I don't want to mention name of the manager there. Got in there again. He said we have to go for all those things. We need to fulfill all those things which we did. After that, they now on the light for us. As they on the light, not up to a month, we were still in blackout again. So at the end of it, we went again. They said it was according to them that the electric wiring merge. That was because that they now cut us off again from EOY again, which we not pay. Pay that much again. The Chile community, which is the Kabetu, Igbo and Igbo. After that, they brought a light for a week again. After a week, they cut us off again. They said, Ijowa is owing. We now went to the office again and told them that if Ijowa is owing, does that mean it affects our community? We are blackout throughout all this. So before we sort all those things out, we have already made up our mind. We can do away with our NEPA. When our father was living with a lamp and all these things, we were enjoying it. We cannot be paying for what we are not using. We cannot be paying for what we are not using. So if they feel they want to cut us off from this NEPA issue, they should cut everybody off totally, so that we will know that we are not with NEPA. Not that after 3 weeks, they will not bring a light under 22 hours or 3 hours. They will come and collect their money. It's unfair to the masses.
The electricity issues and challenges that BEDC in the state is devastating, in the sense that as a minister, I suffer a lot in terms of electricity. As an individual, not only me, the entire people of Edo State, and not only in Edo State, Nigeria as a whole, we are really facing electricity challenge in the country, in the sense that we are not getting constant light. Even though the tariff of electricity is high, people don't even get the light. I don't know how the government will enhance constant light for the Nigerian people, especially in Edo State here. We are seeing the government are not taking a proactive step towards this direction. But if the government will be able to ensure that people are paying for electricity and they are not getting electricity, government should take a drastic step in this direction by making sure if people have constant light, people will want to pay for it. But a situation where you don't see light, at the end of the month you see BEDC personnel coming to people's house to come to cut lights, is really a problem. My major concern is that let them provide us electricity and people will pay for it. But a situation whereby we don't have constant light, out of 24 hours, people cannot boast of 3 hours light in a day. It's a problem that we are really facing. People who are doing business cannot do business effectively. People who are doing business, they want to make sure their food stuff does not get spoiled. Nobody can preserve their food again. Even though they cook, you cannot preserve it. Even though electricity for our artisans to work, they cannot get electricity to empower their equipment in order to boost productivity for the entire society. It is really a problem. The state of electricity in our country, in our state, is very poor. Very, very poor. We don't know how government is creating effectiveness on this aspect. We say Nigeria is generating electricity and the neighboring are getting electricity, and the people that are in this country are not benefiting it. Nigerians, we are crying. As a person, I am crying. We don't say as an individual we don't want to pay for electricity. We are not saying that they should give us light for free, but let them make light available and let people pay for it.
They often tell us the national grid is collapsed. So ultimately it's to develop enough capacity, the whole process of generation, distribution and the rest of it. And then the enabling law, the happy thing recently is that they have said is deregulated. State governments and private investors can now enter the electricity market, generate and sell. So we do hope that will be a great deal of improvement, because without electricity, really, we are going to remain in the Stone Age. We cannot industrialize. Even domestically, we cannot have the comfort we should derive from electricity. We should consider all the options, whether the new sources like wind, solar in our country, so that we're able to generate enough for our consumption. The darkness is a cover for any kind of nefarious activity. Yeah, so if the place is not well lit or substantially lit up, people can ordinarily hide under the cover of darkness to perpetrate just anything, not just robbery, kidnapping and whatever you have. Yeah. Don't also forget that we now have private investors. The government doesn't have so much to do with electricity anymore, apart from regulation. So they also have to maximize their profit. So it may have been a mistake in the first instance, divesting from electricity at the level of government.
Let me talk about the state where I live, where I reside. The total blackout is nothing to write up about. We really suffer when it comes to light. Edo is suffering. I think our governor is trying to, we have to do more. Our Excellency, Senator Monde, our governor of Edo, executive governor, you have to do more when it comes to that light issue. We are suffering. There are some of us who can provide electricity for ourselves, solar and all that. Maybe a generator, this was the case, but not everybody. And so at this junction, I think it is expedient that our governor looks straight into this issue and solve this problem. What would I call it? I don't know the right English to use. The right English right now, we have serious problem when it comes to light. Businesses are going down. Those selling drinks, those who have koro, without generator, you can't do anything. And the J is on the high side. Those small jewelry, those are better person. Our neighbor used to buy then 30,000, 10,000. Now you can't buy it. Then the other one is the Tiger and the LMX 1 point something for ordinary generator. So it doesn't make any sense at all. So begging on our executive governor, the governor that knows what to do, to please to look into us and save us from darkness. Then when it comes to these funny BDC people, we're raising a child that came from the US and the others. The first thing they learned in Nigeria is NEPA don't bring light. Children brought from abroad. The NEPA don't bring light. Can you imagine such? And so these funny people, 2 days, they'll bring the light on and off for 2 days. The next thing they'll come with their estimated billing. They start dragging people, wires and all that. It's high time. I think it's high time we stand our ground and let them know that we're not fools. We are Nigerians. We all own this nation. It belongs to nobody. It belongs to nobody and it's for everybody. We should stand our ground and fight for our rights. This BDC, I bet may they pack, may they go. NEPA still better pass. You can't go out at night when there is no light. The security issue is what the government is trying. I cannot chrome them in one day, but we individual too. Like the police used to say something, say something. But sometimes when you say something, they use it as a bait. And so we need to. Edo State government need to give us security as well. Nightlife in Benin is almost gone. But I also want to say kudos to our governor. For the first time, it was December free of bloodshed. It was wonderful. December, look, we have most of our people in Nigeria right now, those living in diaspora, those living abroad. Many of them came December and this January. And they came and they're enjoying it. So I believe our excellent governor Our Excellency can do more about that to give us more security. Like those travel, if you're traveling from Benin to Akure, Benin to Ifon, those roads are no go area at night. You can't date. So I believe with all hands on deck and our governor and the police, our CP, let's hope and pray for our action governor to do something about insecurity.
ADDC, since they came in, I don't think they have done well by my own assessment. And darkness is synonymous with demonic things. And they have thrown their city into darkness, Benin City, Edo State as it were, is in darkness. And I think that the government should step into the matter to do something about the situation. Because the way I look at it is that, for me, I think it is deliberate. Because there are some areas that have light, they call it dedicated light. So why can't everybody have the same light? Because there are areas for 2 weeks no light, for 1 month no light. Some people have 3 hours a day. Some people have 1 hour. And if they bring light in these 20 years, so people shout, hey, they'll be saying up NEPA instead of up BEDC, which is BEDC. So the thing is that government should step in and help us. People are dying, and most people are paying for darkness. They go there, they threaten people, they bring light when it is wanted for 3 days, 2 hours, 3 days, they come and collect money and they shut it down again. So I think the government should step in. If they are going to be thrown out, they should be thrown and bring people who can give us light, who are ready to pay. It was privatized. That was a good intention by government, but the people that did it, I'm sure they gave it to their cronies who does not know anything about the management of light, and that's why we are where we are. It has really hampered nightlife because we don't work in darkness, and the only thing that is helping us now is this solar, and people put everywhere, and some persons that have money to buy diesel and buy fuel. It's not everybody that have that kind of money, so it has really disturbed or hampered nightlife. But government is trying to bring it back by putting street light and everything. So we commend them. We pray that God will give government more power, more strength, more wisdom to do what they have to do. And there's individuals are also trying by helping to lighten up everywhere. So we praise them. But for BEDC, I think they should go. We need better people.
The situation of electricity in Benin here now, I will give them at least 30%. They don't give up 50% from area. But I wish the government can improve, because if you see what they happen to us now, we all they use our hand to define electricity. Some of us will go generator for us, some of us will get solar, some of us will go generate big blister. All these people will get like hotel. So I wish the government, they really improve for electricity. All those generators will become condemned for our hand. You understand? So people are not going to go for it. And money, now they need to put, because that energy, that light will really need that. If light day for this, imagine if you come for here for Silok Road now, government already put light, but in the evening, everywhere will be dark. So where there's light, everything, even the security aspect of itself, anything concerning light is too plenty. Maybe one particular, so we need light. If I come out for office now, if light no dey, we must buy generator. At least from office, I dey buy at least, if I'm not mistaken, 5,000 every day for sure. Imagine times 1 month, na big money, and na money. From there, I will come see look at it, we come here say we want to go for solar. Make we use solar to stabilize them, because solar dey give us more, make savings from the fuel aspect of it. So if you get light, nothing like light, your light can carry AC, can carry everything for us. And to the noise, no go even give you that noise issue. So we prefer light more than any other thing.
The light is our problem. We are suffering for light. You can see our business without light, we cannot improve. We need light. The show of light is difficult to us. It's very, very, very low. I don't know if you're getting it, very low. We need light. The show of light in Edo State is very poor. Patronage is very low. You can see we import fuel at least every day 10,000, 15,000 a day. But you can stay 2 days, 3 days, no light. The show of business is very, very, very low. Very low. So we are begging government to improve on light aspect. Without light, you cannot sell bulb, you cannot sell fan. You understand? When you have light, you prepare to buy fan. Not everybody can provide solar for his house. Actually, we need light.
Electricity
in Benin City or in Edo State has been with mixed feelings, because to some they will give the positive nod that they are faring well with the supply of electricity, but with some become so epileptic of recent. Me personally, I have discovered that we are not paying for what we get, or we don't get what we pay for. The reason being that the regulatory body that's supposed to task the BEDC are not doing enough to satisfy a customer by way of ensuring that you get what you pay for. For those who are using prepaid meter, there are reports that suggest that even the prepaid meter is even overbilling or overcharging consumers, as against what the government is telling us. Only recently we discovered that the BDC keep complaining that the generation company is not supplying them what they ought to get, which will in turn affect the consumer. And even at a point they also raise the issue of federal government owing them. But just recently the federal government has paid a huge sum of money to liquidate what they are owing this distribution company. But looking at the experience of consumer in terms of the electricity supply, it is so appalling. They will either give you excuse of faulty transformer, which they left for the consumer to contribute money to fix, whereas it is supposed to be the onus of BDC to fix the transformer so that they can in turn supply electricity to the consumer who pay for that service. It's like you are buying a recharge card. I am not sure that the recharge card you buy is what they give you. It varies from quarter to quarter. It varies from consumer to consumer. For example, for those who have been using the analog or the estimated billing, you will discover that whatever they bring, which is not subject to negotiation, by the time you now procure your own prepaid meter, they will bring everything inside the bill and begin to roll out deductions arbitrarily without consulting with the consumer. Even the estimated billing they brought was not even discussed by the consumer. So, and there is nobody that is there to advocate for the consumer or to leverage on the complaints. Nobody to complain to. So that makes it very, very heartbreaking. So for me, I believe the federal government and indeed the lawmaker, the National Assembly, should set up a body where consumer can run to and lay their complaints, so that there can be an equilibrium between the consumer and the BDC, for example.
To wrap it up on Viewpoint on ITV, we're going to be highlighting some of the key issues that was actually mentioned by our respondents, which some said it is as a result of poor maintenance, gas supply shortage, and poor metering, just to list but a few. And the government at all levels, they are expected to do the needful and do the right thing to ensure steady power supply for citizens in order to boost means of livelihood, especially for business owners in the country. It is Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okunji.
ITV, certainly the best.
This masquerade is popularly known as Enugu Traditional Masquerade, originated from the coast city in the southern eastern state of Nigeria. This masquerade is vibrant, featuring local performance during festival period. The masquerade acts as social order and connecting the people to ancestors. The Enugu Traditional Masquerade, when it performs, it brings communities together, promoting a sense of belonging and joy, particularly during festival and royal funerals. In Enugu community, the masquerade serves as a guardian of societal norms and moral authority, enforcing discipline and unity, especially their warrior-like nature exhibited by the masquerade during performance, engineering the town to electrification, as people tend to forget about their crime and social vices. The people of Enugu cherish the masquerade dance, especially during festive period like Christmas and New Year celebration. Enugu masquerade is associated with peace, unity, progress and love among the people of Enugu. The masquerade performance has helped to propagate the rich cultural heritage of the people to outside world.
Exactly. You are the mechanic. Ibu. Why put it out there also? Let's I was there.
ITV, certainly the best.
Onwa is rich in culture and traditions. The people are a mixture of traditional worshippers, Muslims and Christians. Onwa is located at the northern part of Edo State. It consists of two local government areas, that is Onwa West and Onwa East. It has a total number of 13 clans and 21 political wards, according to National Population Commission 2006 census. The population of Onwa people is put together at 251,686. The people love tradition and culture. Historically, the people ancestors in deep quest to hand down on their future children a society of love and friendship.
ITV, certainly the best.
Ugewe is the final ceremony of the series of festivals. It is one of peace and lightheartedness, following the more solemn of the ritual year. Ugewe is the festival of the Ewe leaves, a symbol of good luck and joy. It is the most popular of all that heralds the dawn of a Benin New Year, new vow, newness of life and freshness of life, and a new hope for the future. In the evening, the Ewe leaves are presented to the Oba of Benin in grand style in a colorful ceremony. The Ihogbe Society, amidst singing and dancing, bring the sacred leaves that symbolize good luck, blessings, peace, and prosperity. Each of the senior members of the Ihogbe proceeds to give the sacred leaves directly to the Oba of Benin, and others put theirs at his feet.
ITV, certainly the best.
Good morning, tech lovers. Yes, you're tuning into Tech Today, that one program where we discuss everything, anything technology, where we'll break it down to you in simple terms and we'll let you understand what we're talking about when it comes to the world of technology. Yes, my name is Momo Lawal, or you can call me Mr. Kankan, and you'll be correct. Today, we'll be diving into something that is changing the way we live, the way we work, and the way we learn. We talk about it every day. It's called AI chatbots, artificial intelligence chatbots. Yes, from the popular ChatGPT to Google Gemini to several other chatbots that we have out there. These smart assistants are helping Gen Zs, they're helping the millennials, they're helping everybody to create content, helping them to, small businesses run efficiently and also making everyday life easier. But now the question goes, are they really helping the future, or is this just a hype? Well, we're going to explore this today, and I have a guest today. Is a tech, I want to call him a tech guru, but then he's a back-end engineer, Alex Oche. Welcome to the program, brother.
Thank you for having me, Momo.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us in the program. So, Alex, we're going to talk about this artificial intelligence chatbots, and but before we go into that, we're going to, talk about what is happening in the world of tech. We're going to share what we call the tech updates from the global perspective to what is happening here in Nigeria. Stay tuned for the next segment, which is called Tech Updates. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back to the program. Yes, it's still Tech Today. And going straight into the Tech Update segment, we have first globally that robots are now smarter at working with humans. That's what Fujitsu is saying. So Fujitsu has introduced a new technology that allows robots to understand and predict human movements when working in the same space. So what this just simply means now, before now, we all know robots just follow instructions. But with this new system, robots can now sense what a human worker is about to do and adjust their actions, like it's slowing down or if the person is moving, aside. So why this is important for us to know is that with this new technology, it makes the workplace safer. You don't see a robot walking into a wall or just, going because you say move, it just moves. It now knows when to stop and not when to keep going. It reduces accidents in factories and in industries. This also shows that robots are being designed now to assist humans and not to replace them, for popular opinion. And also this means that this future of work is a collaboration and not competition. Alex, this tech update about robots, we all know what robots are before, and now we're having them now doing things like assisting their, and not just following instructions, but now becoming an assistant. What do you think about this update, brother?
For me, I think it's amazing.
Okay.
The fact we have somebody who understands you, a bot who understands you, who can even think for you. So it's amazing. It's a good one where
it's a good one.
It makes you active. It gives you insights. It lets you know what's happening, what's going to happen, and what has happened. All this together, sourcing all these informations, and you have it at your fingertips. It's amazing.
Thereby making life easier. All right. Next on the tech updates, we have global and experts are warning about AI, that is artificial intelligence, becoming too powerful. So over 800 experts, tech leaders and public figures worldwide are calling for a pause on developing artificial intelligence systems that could surpass human intelligence. So what is happening right now is that AI is getting smarter very, very fast. I believe you all know, because sometimes you think, before you think something is already even acting in that way, it even has sarcasm and all of that. Before people say AI could not have emotions, but now you'll be talking to your chatbot and it's even saying, come on, you're funny. And it's giving you all those emotions and you think you're interacting with a real human being. So experts now fear that if it becomes too powerful without proper rules, humans may struggle to control how it is being used. So AI already is affecting some jobs, and then social media, and you see some fake news flying around, and it's even affecting decision making. So what those 800 plus experts are saying is without regulation, proper regulation, it could be abused, and governments are being urged to act early. Alex, I think this is a wake-up call for governments and people around that use AI. So this update I think is a valid one, and it's a good one.
It is, and it's here to stay for us to actually regulate the AI, know what it's about, and then make sure it doesn't go overboard.
Yes,
it's a good one.
Imagine AI. I think I watched a episode on the series one time when you see the name of the series is Love, Death and Robots. Okay? So this AI chatbot now started overdoing the work. It was supposed to be a cleaner, a vacuum cleaner, but now it now started being a smart vacuum cleaner and now started purging the house and purging the owner. So without regulations, we don't know where AI is going to go. So the message is very simple. AI progress must go hand in hand with safety and responsibility. Lastly, on the global tech updates, we have that McDonald's is using artificial intelligence to run its supply chain. So McDonald's has developed AI, artificial intelligence, to manage how food and supply move across its global outlets. So AI now helps McDonald's predict how much food customer will need, where it is needed, and when, so they don't overstock or run out. So this is something we should care about, and it's an update that we should know, because now it means that we'll have less food waste and faster services and lower costs, which can even help to stabilize prices. What do you imagine this, Alex, being brought into Nigeria here, and you see our food out? It seems you like food very well.
Exactly, my point. You know, if this is being brought to Nigeria space, you know, it will cut down a lot of wasteful resources.
I agree, bro.
Where you get to know how much it's being. But for example, you have to employ an accountant who has to know how much you need to manage. But with this sort of AI, it gives you everything. You need this amount for today. We use X amount tomorrow. And then it's all wrapped up. And
people don't there's no food wastage anymore.
Exactly. Cuts of labor, so many things.
It's cut out.
It's cut out.
AI is really helping the world. Now, going local now, the tech updates happening here in Nigeria. First, we have Nigeria's approved satellite internet companies. So Nigeria has approved satellite license for companies like Amazon's Project Cooper to provide internet services. So what this simply means is that instead of relying only on cable, that's fiber cables, optical cables and all of that, or network masts, internet can now be sent directly from satellites in space. We have one, like I think Starlink does that. Starlink. So yeah, this means you have better internet in rural areas and remote areas that don't have masts that's up to that area.
Exactly.
You have support online. This can also support online education and also encourage remote jobs. And also, it can also boost Nigeria's digital economy. Alex, I think this is a welcoming one. This is a good tech update from Nigeria.
I really, really appreciate the Nigerian tech team. I really like the tech experts for actually bringing this around, because it's a good one. If this stays in our internet, you know how much we use the internet daily. You know our issues with our internet.
So people are streaming us right now within the internet.
Exactly. So you know how it is. Bringing the Starlink, and you know others will come in. It's a competition, and then we get it right.
Yeah, I agree. We'll get it right, and then we'll now bridge the gap of how people can access the internet. People in the rural areas especially can have these services right in their doorstep, because it's just to access the satellites. Next on the tech update locally, we have Nigeria takes action against abusive loan apps. So there are new regulations that have been introduced to control digital lending platforms, especially these loan apps that harass borrowers. So now, what this simply means is that loan apps can no longer shame users. They cannot send threats or contact families and friends aggressively over unpaid loans. So this is Alex, I don't think have you ever experienced something like this before?
Not directly.
Okay, but it will not be directly.
We're on the internet and we see what happens.
Okay,
people lashing out on people.
Yeah.
And now with all this AI, you see that it cannot just come in.
You see that they tell you that they call their friend to tell them that their friend is owing them money, blah, 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 use their name as collateral, and which is just lies.
Family and friends.
And they now know that you borrowed money from a loan app.
We even heard at the time, one time, some loan app would take videos or pictures of some their users
and start sharing
it online.
That's a breach of privacy. Now, why is this very important for us as a tech update is because this protects the user's dignity and privacy, like what Alex just shared. It also encourages fair lending practices, and also it builds trust in the Nigeria fintech space. It's a good one. I think it's a good one, and I'm enjoying this tech update. So technology, of course, should solve problems, not create new ones. Lastly, on the tech update segment, before we get into our topic of today, Nigeria pushes for a unified AI strategy. So the Nigerian Communications Minister has called for a national and African-wide plan on how AI should be developed and used, similar to what what they're calling out in the global scene. Yeah. So instead of scattered efforts around, Nigeria wants a clear roadmap on artificial intelligence. They want to know how it's being built, how it is being regulated and applied across different sectors. So, Alex, this is a talk update that I think we said similar thing globally, and now we're saying it now that the NCC is now,
putting it in Nigeria. I really want to thank the NCC for actually bringing this, or should I say foresight, for bringing this in Nigeria, trying to regulate how this goes.
Because we see a lot of things happen on social media nowadays. You don't even know what is real and what is fake nowadays. People just use it anyhow.
Nobody to regulate these things. If you see what you believe and you go and spread false rule, that's how it is. So we need to actually have these regulations to know once somebody who comes up with a fake AI information, it's out there. This is AI too. This is not real. This is AI.
Yeah. So like Alex is just saying, this will really help Nigeria startup, compete globally and also prevents the misuse of AI. And also, I think it also positions Nigeria as a tech leader in Africa. So, countries now without an AI plan risk, and they're falling behind in this global tech race. Now we're going to short break and we'll come into the topic of today, which is talking about artificial intelligence chatbots. We're going to tell you different chatbots and maybe just divert your mind away from the one you think you already know, and give you other options and tell you how you can work with them with your different businesses out there. Don't go nowhere. Still Tech Today on Independent Television. Welcome back to the program. It's Still Tech Today. Yes, we just introduced the topic properly, artificial intelligence chatbots. We know AI is no longer a future talk right now. It's currently in our phones. We use it every day in our businesses, and we use it in our classroom, anywhere, workplace, and all of that. So from different chatbots out there, we have the ChatGPT, to Google's Gemini, to Meta AI chatbots, and even different fintech companies, banks are also using different chatbots to make customer service easier. So this is becoming an everyday tool. And today on Tech Today, we are going to compare popular AI chatbots and how they work, and even why they matter to the Gen Zs, to the SMEs, and to everyday users out there. So Alex, I told you he's a backend engineer, I want to call him a tech guru. So Alex, which of these AI chatbots, which of them have you used before, and which of them do you currently use, and why?
So we all know the famous ChatGPT.
Of course, yes, man.
So I wouldn't say I used it, but my favorite is the Gemini AI.
Oh, why is it your favorite?
Because of it brings out ideas into picture. I don't have to pay a videographer or a cinematographer or a video editor. All I need is give this prompt to this Gemini, work on it.
So you use it basically to bring ideas into picture.
Exactly. Oh. Whatever I write, whatever you talk about now, I go into it, create a prompt for it, and then I can bring that out.
So people that want to do flyers, people that want to just put things out there,
people who have businesses, I would actually want them to key into this Gemini. Yeah.
Gemini.
People who are into graphics, people who want to go deep into graphics, use key into Gemini. It gives you an idea. It's just like what we said earlier. When you create an idea, and this bot understands your idea and refurbishes for you, it gives you different options. And then you, on your own as human, you know how to weigh them. So that's that's my best for Gemini?
You know, I think I also like I like using if I don't use ChatGPT, obvious ChatGPT, I also use DeepSeek.
Yeah.
I use DeepSeek sometimes because when I really want to, except when it has to do with a lot of maybe engineering things, I want to maybe do some codings and I want to also create a small program, a small software just to, or maybe you know, we have this automation nowadays. I like automating some of my things. You know, if this happens, then do this like this.
Yeah.
You know, I learned how to from using. I was exploring DeepSeek. You know, asking questions, and I learned how to. You know, I can now apply for a job by just filling a Google form.
Sure.
Yeah. The prompt will just help me to just do that for me, and he will send an email to the recruiter for me, and he would send my CV tailored in that manner.
Thank you.
He would send a cover letter tailored in that manner too, and it just makes life so easy. When you go back and see it, you'll be like, oh, good.
All you have to do is look over it.
So yeah, don't just sleep on ChatGPT all the time and thinking, that's all I know about using different chatbots. So AI chatbots, they are softwares that are trained to understand and respond like humans. Okay, so they help you with writing, they help you with researching, customer service, learning, and doing a lot of creativity. Just like Alex said, sharing that you can just make a prompt out there, and from that prompt you get a picture of what is just an image of what is saying. So now, why do you think these chatbots are booming? Why do you think people are now falling into this chatbot now?
So for me, I know one thing about the chatbot is it's an assistant.
But then people will argue that we have Google. Why don't they use Google searches anymore? They want to use AI chatbot.
And I will explain to you.
Okay.
I can go and upload any information on Google.
Okay.
But I cannot upload on ChatGPT. ChatGPT can go on Google and pick the best from Google. ChatGPT can go to what's the other search engines, Bing and all.
Bing,
pick what I need because of the prompts I've given my bot, the AI. So for Copilot, I use Copilot as well.
Oh yeah.
So most times when I use Copilot, and I want to if it involves coding or anything, once you use Copilot on GitHub, it tells you, oh, this is the best solution. You can use this channel A or this channel B. You don't have to do with coding. All you do is look at what you're going to arrive at, and once you get to that point, So one thing, if we rely solely on ChatGPTs or AIs, you cannot get your finished product.
Because I have a problem that I feel in the future, I'm scared that these AI chatbots, whether GPT and all of that, will not make humans think for themselves.
So if you see it that way, what you said is correct. But if you want to learn, you are the one giving the prompts to the AI. So you tailor the prompt to what you want. That's you working.
But yes, I'm saying that, for example, people will now become so lazy. They always go and tell them, draft a mail saying I'm not going to come to work tomorrow. The next 2 weeks, draft a mail saying I'm not going to come to work tomorrow. Same prompt, maybe just tweak a little bit, maybe say I'm sick today. But people may not learn to just know how to draft a mail in that. Now I can now know that I can tell myself, I can tell if this is an AI generated mail.
Obviously, we should know because we're in the tech space, you should know that.
Yeah, I can
tell.
I
know that for some other persons out there, they wouldn't know if this is
Some persons, I think one time I got a mail where the person even forgot to remove what GPT said.
And all
yes, a refined version of this, and don't do that, please.
For the lazy ones, they will always be caught. But one thing I know about this, once you do this, you take your time and read what is given before you send it out. If you send the mail and say, oh, ChatGPT, let me send the mail to my manager, I'm not going to come today, I'm feeling sick. You still have the objective to read that mail and understand, tailor it to a way it suits your boss. Sometimes we tell chats, can you reply this as a human?
Yes. And do you know that it replies it, you now seem as if it's, no, I will tell you, don't be so AI-ish.
Thank you. Be
human, and it just gives you a different response, and then you say, wow.
So sometimes when it gives you this answer and you read it, you learn from it. But when people just copy and paste it, that's the issue you're talking about now.
So let's bring it to Gen Zs now, because I know they use it more than we do.
Sure.
Because some of us don't even want to go there, the millennials and all of that,
yeah.
But they use it more than we do. Now, how can this help them? Many of them are still in university, help them with their homework. How would they help them? Because some persons want to just, while they're doing their studies, they want to also create content. So how do you think this can help them create content and even help them after leaving university for their career growth? And also, what are the warnings or the signs they need to avoid whilst using this ChatGPT, this chatbots?
First of all, I advise every Gen Z out there to see this AI chatbot or whatever, or this AI chatbot.
Yeah.
as a researching tool. Don't just sit and relax. This is my assistant that does everything. Yes, it's your assistant, but it does your research for you. It's part of the research process. You do this, you go and find out that, oh, this is what's happening, and then you come again and understand. For example, you said something about content creation. I want to create content about tech. I go to ChatGPT and ask, what's up? What's the update on tech? What's this? It gives me, I cannot just come and take whatever chat gives me.
Yeah.
I go myself, I understand it. It's point of us reading it. We ought to read whatever chat gives us. And I will tell you, the chat is not always correct.
It's not always correct. And they won't tell, they put a disclaimer out there. That's what you have to know. I think prompt engineering is something that people need to know how to prompt, tailor your prompts to this particular thing you're looking out for, and don't be so generic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now let's move to the entrepreneurs, the SMEs. How would you think using this AI chatbot will help them in their business, assuming they are, they have for customer support or for their social media, managing social media, or they are, pushing their content out there or advertisements, and also helping them for maybe their business plan or proposals, or how do you think this AI chatbot?
I'll come from the customer experience side, customer service aspect, because it's very, very good tool for that.
Okay.
You have a business, you are not available 24/7, but with that bot set on your website, it answers your customers for you. It gives people, if Momo is into, let's say, Momo has this airline services.
Okay.
And Momo is traveling in Belgium now, and I want to book for a flight for myself. I reach out to Momo, and the bot will help me because of the prompt you've given your bot.
Yeah.
He sets my flight for me, gives me the exact prices, and then it makes it easy. That's for your business.
Yes.
Now, for, let's say, small customer success business, I don't want to start mentioning brands.
No,
let's say you have your business right now, and then your customers, there's a glitch somewhere. Your customers are furious online, texting, hi, this is not working, this is not working. The bot is there to help them know that. Though we know Nigerians, I will tell you, we are not patient with the bot. But once you arrange your bot in a way, it lets them know that this is the issue and this is what you should do to troubleshoot.
Yeah.
So once you troubleshoot, your problem is half solved. You know what's happening. So that's why I feel for every business, there are different parts where this AI tool is very important.
Yeah.
If you don't use it for your graphics, use it for accounting, use it for different aspects.
Use it to plan your business, use it to even save money and save time. Use it for, like Alex said, customer service automation, just answering people. Even WhatsApp, use it for WhatsApp businesses to say, hi there, this is so and so business, I'm not available right now, leave this message. People now go further to even engage in, following up on that. You say, okay, what do you want to buy? I want to purchase 3 bags of this and that. Okay, how many quantity, where are you located? And it helps you, and it works 2/7. It's already there, so you don't have to be awake all the time to reply these messages. Now let's talk about the risk, the ethics, and limitations that we'll have. People talk about this privacy issue and all of that in AI. Okay. So how are you using AI chatbots? So let's talk about that. How do you think we can manage this privacy concerns, data privacy concerns, and the popular thought of that AI would replace humans and replace human thinking? Or the human's creativity per se.
That creativity part about us humans, AI can never take that away from us. I keep saying that because you give these instructions to the AI. The AI cannot work without any human. You prompt this AI. So if I want my AI to work for me this way, I tell him, I want you to be this for me. I want this result in this route. It does that for you. Then it brings out other options, more for you to choose.
Okay.
So I don't see AI. I see that for those who are weak and those who are lazy, let me use lazy, it might affect them.
Okay.
But
what about for data privacy concerns?
So now, when it comes to this data, I see it as a good one because with AI, I cannot share some of my data.
Okay. What kind of data are you not going to be able to share? Let's enlighten our viewers out there that what they shouldn't share on using these chatbots.
Anything that has to do with privacy, anything that has to do with your personal life, you don't tell ChatGPT these are your hobbies or this is who I am. You don't go and explain yourself. You don't give the chat your bio. Don't go and start telling your chat, oh, my name is this, I'm from this. That information is too much to give out.
But some persons may want to argue and say they are telling that so that they can the AI
can be
response
tailored for
can
them.
tailored exactly for them.
But that information is out there in the open now.
But nothing out there can be secret. Even when you take a picture out there and say I'm right here in Texas or I'm right here in New Benin Market, it's already out there uploaded in the internet.
As soon as you post something and say, hi, I'm down here.
No matter even if you delete it,
it's still there.
It's still there.
Even on your phone. Even if you delete it on your phone, I can still get it on your phone.
But at least people should know that AI is a tool and it is not a master. So you control it. Don't let it control you.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, wrapping up on this interesting conversation, I want to ask you this question. Okay. Would you trust AI to run your business for you?
101%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You would just trust AI to run a business for you?
I would give my AI my prompts, monitor it, and let it run it for me.
And you think it will make a mistake to do something you don't want?
It won't make, it would make mistakes, but one thing is I get to correct that and it doesn't happen again. Because once you set a prompt for an AI, I will take you to chat, customer service again, respond on this gambling, respond to this. It cannot make mistakes. AI cannot take an answer for something else to drop another thing.
Yeah, actually. So, although there was a time I was in ChatGPT, it made a mistake about a particular figure when I was calculating, and I was like, why did you make this mistake and all of that? He said, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I thought you wrote it as this,
exactly.
and he explained why the mistake happened, and then I was like, don't do that again. Always cross-check, double-check before you give me a response. And he said, moving forward, and he stored it in my memory, that I would like that. So wrapping up on the program, for those who don't really use all these chatbots, what is your last word? What are your final words to tell them all about? That I've not used chatbot before, and maybe they are using only one particular chatbot and they don't use any of this that I just mentioned.
The world is evolving. I don't want any of you to be left out. We have to use these tools. These are meant for us. We started this thing started as little as text. Now the AI is everywhere. We have bots.
Yeah.
We need to use remotes to do things. Now it's just by saying your voice command and then things are moving. So how long would you wait? All we have to do right now is get along with this, join the band, use it and be beneficial, get productive with these things. Before you go and call someone and say, I want you to come and help me do this, the bot has done this for you. The AI tool is already ready at your beck and call. All you need is a phone, a smart internet, and then you are good. So for those of you out there, I don't want you to sleep on it. Go into this thing. Whatever issues you are having, ask your bot and see. It will give you an insight. Then from there, you can start solving your problem.
Thank you very much. I did not want you to even stop giving that advice out there. Yes, it's been Tech Today. Thank you very much, Alex, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I want to just end by saying that AI chatbots are not here to replace humans, but they are here to assist humans. So the real advantage out there is, like Alex shared, is knowing how to use them wisely. So whether you're a Gen Z, you're a business owner, or just curious about this, or just watching the program for the first time, AI is now part of your world. So, those who understand AI today will lead tomorrow. So before we leave the studio, I want you to know that we do this also on radio on Monday by 8:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. Every Monday is on radio, 92.3 FM, Independence Radio. So thank you, Alex, once more for coming to the program. I really appreciate your time. Thank you. We'll be seeing more of you again.
Surely.
All right, so always know that in this world of artificial intelligence, in the world of technology, it's good to stay curious, stay connected, and stay very informed. Until next week, my name is Momo Lawal. Bye for now.
ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best.
Hello there, thanks for joining us on this week's edition of the program Icons on Independent Television. Icons is a program specially designed to showcase individuals, personalities who have made giant strides in our society in a very unique and special way. So you can learn from their stories, learn from their journeys, and imbibe some of the values, the culture, and the style of leadership that has defined their personality over the years. And bringing those values to bear in your life will definitely change your story. I'm Sonny Duke Okosun. It's always a delight to bring you this program every other week. In today's program, we have a generational prophet, a pastor of pastors, a teacher of teachers, a minister of the gospel with outstanding impact, an educationist par excellence, a spiritual leader who has continued to impact this generation, and I dare say even generations unborn. We're privileged to have in our midst as our guest for this week on the program Icons, the General Superintendent of Gospel Light International Ministries, also known as New Covenant Gospel Church, former National President of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, the one and only Reverend Dr. Felix Omogode. It's a pleasure to have you on the program Icons, sir.
Thank you, Sonny. It's my privilege, and I thank you for counting me worthy to be part of this program.
Fantastic. I'm very honored to be interviewing you because I know as a child I watched you on television ministering. I watched you in crusades and several other opportunities that I had, and I'm grateful to God I have the privilege to be interviewing you on a day like this. Share with us, what was it like growing up, looking at the heights that you've attained globally, the impact that you're making globally, ministry-wise. One would believe that you were born with a diamond spoon, or at least a golden spoon, or even a silver spoon. What was it like growing up?
Well, I can't tell you there was no spoon when I wore a wooden spoon. So it's a very typical rural setup, and to a family that was barely making it. So all we knew was the house, the farm, the river. So
Obanosa, which was then called Owa, was a very rural community. And I grew up the third of 15 children. That was life, what it was, and I didn't have the privilege of going to school. I grew up, many of my mates were those who could afford it were in school, but my parents couldn't afford to send me to school until the government of then, Chief of Bafemi Awolowo, proclaimed free education for all children. It was then I went to the primary school in Obadosa. That was the beginning of my educational journey.
Fantastic. At what point did you move to Benin, and when you got to Benin, what were those activities that you got to serve involved in, before venturing into ministry, as it were?
Well, I came into Benin City. I was sick, but I had the burden of having myself educated. I went to the St. Patrick's Secondary Modern School, where St. Paul Catholic Church is now.
Okay.
It was all struggles. I was telling our students yesterday, I sold newspapers in this town to sustain.
So you were a newspaper vendor?
Yes, yes. To sustain my educational aspiration. So that was what it was like.
At what point did you come to the conclusion that ministry was a calling? It was something that you would do for the rest of your life?
Well, first I pursued my aspiration in the field of engineering. When I finished from the secondary modern school, I went to Electrotechnical College, which is now Federal College of Education, Technica in Asaba. That was the year the Civil War broke out. So that made us to return back. And I went to the Government Trade Center. It was almost struggles. I finished my City and Gas of London certificate in electrical installation. Then I continued pursuing my education in engineering. I worked. I left the Ministry of Works as a higher technical officer before I traveled abroad for that theological training. But in 1972, I turned my life over to Christ in a crusade organized by the late Archbishop Benson Idahosa. It was almost immediately, as at that time we were told, you will be not discipled, and you begin to also tell others. So it was later that year, I attended the local Bible school, which is now All Nation, almost immediately. And the work of ministry started on part-time. So it was when we built the Miracle Center, the church built the Miracle Center, then everybody was moving to the new
auditorium that the late Archbishop asked me to stay over in Yarrow to continue to pastor the place. That was where actually my pastoral work started.
So you were more or less like the first bishop of Church of God Mission in Yarrow, so to speak.
I wouldn't call it bishop because at that time, of course, there were no bishopric. The late Archbishop, I was there when he became an Archbishop. So, but he trusted me to be the station pastor in the Yarrow and became a district superintendent of the area, including up to Ondo State. So it was a privilege for me.
Within those years you were in Church of God Mission with the Archbishop,
yes,
what were those values, those qualities, characteristics that you got, and how did that influence you into starting your own ministry and being able to sustain the ministry since, I believe, 1988?
Yes.
Onward.
Well, you will never blame the Archbishop for not teaching you the Bible. You will blame him for teaching you too much. Because you can't go to his service and hear stories. You know, his Bible. I had that privilege to be raised on a solid foundation. And, it has kept me over the years. In those days, you don't go into ministry for what you will get. I was pastoring in Yarrow. I was still working in Ministry of Works. And it was just my joy to serve. I never had a thought that a day like this will come. So I see it today as preparation stages of my life. And I will forever be grateful to God for the solid foundation that I had. I have, like you know, traveled quite far and wide, and I've held several positions, leadership positions. But that foundation is what is keeping me. And I have remained focused on him. Called me.
Fantastic. If you just joined us, the program is Icons. Our guest today is Reverend Dr. Felix Omobode, the General Superintendent of Gospel Light International Ministries, also known as New Covenant Gospel Church, one-time National President of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, sharing with us the thoughts about life, his journey of life, and the values, strategies that have impacted and influenced his personality today. Is quite inspiring, very motivational, and I'm sure you're learning one or two things from this conversation to add value to your life. We'll take a short break. The program will be back in just a moment. Please stay. Many thanks again for rejoining us on the program Icons. Our guest is Reverend Dr. Felix Omobode. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us this honor and privilege to have this interaction with you. In 1998, you founded Gospel Light International Ministry, also known as New Covenant Gospel Church. How did that come about? Did you hear God? Or like some say, there are two categories of church leaders today. Those whom God called and those that called God.
Yes. Well, I don't really want to take you into the circumstances that surrounded my life at that time. In all honesty, if anyone had told me that I would leave Church of God Mission, I would never have believed. I had good relationship with the leader, the leadership. I rose to the highest ruling body, the National Executive Council of the church. I was trusted to handle very sensitive areas of ministry. But, you know, there was this storm that came, like as I said, I don't want to really go into it, but it pushed me to a place of prayer. When it looks around at all that I thought I had was collapsing. So I know I spent quite some days in prayer, broken spiritually, cried to God the situation I found myself. But then it was the 7th night of that my prayer exercise. I heard God speak to me. If you are around me, I'm not like those who say God say you go to toilet, God say you should clean up. But I tell you, Duke, God spoke to me. And what he told me was to unconditionally forgive all I perceived hurt me. And that he was going to use me to start a new work. He put a lighted candle in my hand. I'm telling you the real thing. And asked me to go light others. So that's where the gospel light came up. We started in my sitting room. I had no money, I had nothing. About 12 people gathered with me in my sitting room. The next Sunday after it, we went to Nightfall to cut palm leaves, palm tree, and build a bamboo shade behind my house for a service.
Where was your house at this time?
At Webo Street, behind Texami Road. So that was my first house, which I bought that land with Udoji. If you were brought up there.
I heard about the Udoji award.
So, but anyway, that was how we started. And miraculously, God provided a place for me. But we were only in the bamboo shade for one Sunday.
Wow.
The next Sunday, I found a hotel room in Edre, former Edre Hotel along TV Road. That was how the journey started. It has been one level of growth to another. We spent less than a year or so in Edre Hotel. Then God provided a warehouse in Uselu where we renovated, and it just started growing. We ran 2 services there before we moved down here.
Wow. That was really fast. And it really showed that it was God that called you and wasn't you that called him.
Well, we laid the foundation of the church here.
Yes.
I think 2 of our elders left the church. They told me it was over ambitious because it was too big, and the burden of how we're going to build
raise the money and build.
So the idea was build some 4 corners, something, and so this is the place now that has become too small. Where we have a convention center, yes. So the growth is continuing.
Interesting. Let's talk about ministry of yesteryears, yes, compared to what we have today. There are those who would believe that perhaps ministers of the gospel of yesteryears didn't really imbibe the right values and virtues in the subsequent ministers. So that transformation, that transition wasn't proper, and that's why we're where we are today. What's your take on the church yesterday, today, and the future against the background of some of the clear-cut realities that we see in ministry today from pastors, men of God, and all of that?
Well, in all honesty, I wouldn't absorb my generation from blame. It bothers me at times whether we have been able to impart the total truth to the upcoming generation. At the time that some of us came into ministry, the church was impoverished, very, very impoverished. I remember when my pastor then, later bishop, bought a 504 station wagon. I mean, the press all over this country spoke against him that, how can a pastor ride some kind of,
expensive car?
So he was a very strong man. He could stand firm on what he believed. So he began to teach. We began to realize that you can serve God, go to heaven, and still be relevant here on earth. That's what the Bible teaches. So the God who saves our soul doesn't say we should suffer, live in abject poverty here until we get to heaven. So that discovery brought what they now call the prosperity gospel. I think the inability to manage, strike a balance is where our problem is. I'm worried. We ran into a problem. I led the Pentecostal church in this country for 8 years. It was a great honor for me. But the Pentecostal church in Nigeria is a kingdom with many kings. So for me, I mean, there are several colleges of bishop, whatever title you think of, we have them. So at times control or passing instructions are difficult. I mean, how can me, a pastor, now tell Archbishop, sit down, don't do this or do this, you know. That's been one of the problems. Then, of course, there are many young people that left the university and they speak good English. You know, they have read the Bible, and most of the time they come out, some of them come out with greater crowd, greater following, and they have more money than you do. So are you going to tell him, call him to order, you know? So these are some of the issues that we have. We read in the book of Judges that Joshua died at the age of 110, and all the elders who outlived Joshua, they served God, and all those generations passed. Then there arose another generation. It is that another generation that is the challenge. They did not know what God did for Israel. We need to let our upcoming generation know our values. Many of them are more educated than some of us. They've studied Greek and Hebrew, Latin, which we never had opportunity to do. I do know that Revelation is progressive, but they also must not forget that even the little we knew helped them. Many of them got saved out of that little message that we had. And I'm concerned, one of the marks by which you know a man that has derailed from God is the spirit of arrogance. And he says, it is one of the marks. God taught me early in life to know that there is nothing that I have that has not been given to me. And the Bible says, when you have done everything you have done, so you should say to yourself that you are an unprofitable servant. You've just done what you ought to do. And I think that has guided me in my journey. That's what I was saying.
Thank you very much, sir. It's been a pleasure talking with you. I know that the thoughts that you shared are things that anyone with the right senses imbibes and takes advantage of. Will definitely have profound impact in such a person's life. Thank you very much, sir, for your time.
Thank you.
And once again, happy birthday to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that's been a program for today on Icons. And our guest has been the General Superintendent of Gospel Light International Ministries, also known as New Covenant Gospel Church. The journey, quite an interesting one, starting out life with being a newspaper vendor. I'm sure at that time you never imagined what it would be today. The same for you. That's a story that should motivate you, inspire you to look at the brighter side of life, irrespective of where you are today and how things are with you. Until I come your way same time next week, on Icons. I'm Sonny Duke Okosun, thanking you for staying with us. Have a lovely day ahead. Bye for now.
ITV, certainly the best. ITV, ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
Hello everyone, it's another day, beautiful one at that, for the program Woman to Woman. Young girls nowadays face a lot of challenges, so much that sometimes you begin to wonder, is it a crime to be a girl? Is it a crime to be a lady? But it is what it is. You're a girl, so let's live with it. So today we want to look at helping girls overcome some challenges that they face in life, helping young girls to navigate some of the challenges. We cannot talk about all of the challenges that girls face, too numerous, and these few minutes will just not be enough to talk about all of them. So let's just pick it little bit, bits from here, bits from there, and then see how we can help our girls. Our young girls are going through a lot, particularly in this age and time. So joining me to talk about this topic is a counselor, a beautiful woman, and you will love her, you will love her. So please join me to welcome Counselor Sharon Ekele. She is from Ekele, right?
Yeah,
I got it.
Yes,
So she's a counselor from the Counseling Center, University of Benin. So nice to have you join us.
Thank you.
You're looking good, looking sharp.
So
All right, so Councillor Sharon, I know you deal with a lot of young girls because I've come to your office, I've seen what you do, and I'm like, wow, these people are doing quite a lot for the young girls, okay? So now, let's look at some of the problems that young girls face in this life, in any environment that they find themselves. The problems are the same, but the way each of us respond to these problems are quite different. So how do we respond to issues facing us? So let's start with this one now, the one that is everywhere, the social media thing. You know, young girls suffer a lot as a result of what they see on social media, comments people make about them, comments people make about other girls, some very traumatizing things that they see. And some of them can withdraw, or some of them can just decide to do otherwise. So how can a young girl build confidence and self-esteem in a social media-driven society?
yeah, thank you so much for that question. Yeah, this social media of a thing has really caused a whole lot of damages. Even though there is a good aspect, but I've come to find out that I think the negative aspect is more than even the
positive.
Yes, positive aspect regarding the well-being and the mental state of every individual, particularly the young girls out there. They face bully, they face, as in, they talk them down, you find out that some of them have been spoken to in a manner that at the end of the day they just burst into tears. Some will come to me, so like, somebody said this in maybe in TikTok about my look. Oh, that I'm shabby, I'm looking ugly, I'm not fine. You still, if you want,
and it get to them.
Yes, it gets to them. So like, oh, so you say you did social media, how many followers you get? Who they comment for your page, and it gets to them.
But you know, some people are bad. Some persons are just bad.
So, and it gets to them so much, and it starts affecting them mentally. So how will one, especially these young girls, help themselves? The first thing is, ask yourself, why am I on social media?
Okay.
Why am I out there? Is it for people validation? Is it to impress people? Or am I here to impact people, impact life? I think recently, I noticed that people have been complaining that like, this social media and the also is free, this one is whatever. But so that's I was like, I just commented one day on somebody that was always talking about it. I was like, I'm here on this page to impact lives. So even though I don't get the comments, I don't get the likes or whatever, but I know that there must be one person my message has impacted positively.
Okay.
And has transformed positively. So that is the first thing we need to put, these young girls need to put at the back of their head.
Having a positive mindset.
Why am I here on social media? Then learn to just unfollow those that are making you feel insecure, making you feel insignificant out there. So you must not follow them back to back and want to be exchanging words. So if you feel you are not so comfortable with what this person is saying to you day in, day out, you unblock the person. So learn to know that social media life is fake. A lot of fake out there.
Okay.
No, it's not real. A lot of unreal life is out there.
You know why I'm laughing? I remember a comment somebody made on my page. I was just doing my own thing, dancing, and he said, "Who be this one do myself?"
Exactly. You just imagine that kind of.
And I just laughed. Then I asked the person, "Who bring you come here?" I was just having fun because the comment he made really made me laugh. But for some person, it will affect them. And we also know that this comment, this backlash and all of that affects their mental health. Because I've been opportunity to talk to a girl who I saw somewhere smoking. I was like, "Why are you on this?" And she said, "Oh, auntie." I said, "I'm not your auntie. I'm old enough to be your mommy. Don't auntie me. Address me properly. Why are you on this?" And she was like, she's on social media and somebody said that, you know. So it affects their mental health. So how can they push forward to make sure that this does not get to their head at all? Because you have said they should block the person, they should follow the person and all of that. It's very hard for them to want to do that.
Because, you know, some persons, they think of, they are so afraid of losing their followers. That is one thing, because they'll tell you, "Oh, followers is important," or comments, whether negative or positive, the more it comes, the more money you are making, let it flow and all that. So if you are not mentally fit, I tell people there are some places you don't need to be. Because at the end of the day, you will break down. So a person, okay, let's take that comment for example. The person say, "Waiting this old woman they do for you," or stuff like that and everything. So, and you are not mentally fit on your own, you are struggling mentally, and such words comes to you. You find out that before you know, you are draining. This is a damaged person that have ended up coming to damage you more.
I think that's the right word. It's damaged people that come to comment all those wrongful things.
So they feel fulfilled when they do such things. They are happy.
Just to hurt somebody.
Yes, just to hurt somebody and see what they... So sometimes I get some comments like that. I get some things like that. So I just ignore. I just smile and laugh. But not everybody can.
Take it.
So that's why I said, the first thing, if you know you are battling mentally. You can't take some comments, you can't take some things you see on social media.
Avoid it.
Yes, avoid it. Sometimes I just say take a break of social media. Just take a break, go and unwind, reset your brain, seek professional help to help you build your mental state. Then when you are coming back, you now understand humans.
You are
better.
ready for it.
Yes.
Okay, another challenge I know young girls face is that relationship thing. How to draw boundaries, how to recognize a toxic relationship, even when they see all of the signs glaring. I don't know what pushed them into such a relationship. So the question is, how can girls navigate relationships and set boundaries with friends and their partners? Because we have come to also realize that it is not only male partners that some of them have. Some have female partners too. And some have their dolls as their partners. What is going on in the minds of young girls nowadays? So talk to us about how they can navigate relationship and then set boundaries among friends and then those they are in a romantic relationship with.
Self-confidence is a very important aspect in the life of every individual.
Okay.
By the time you don't have self-worth, self-confidence, self-awareness, self-love, you find out that you continue to absorb and take in toxic. And you keep telling yourself, oh, he loves me. He's the only person that has shown me love.
You must have talked to a lot of girls.
Yes. Okay. But in any other person who like, what they worry this one? They are beating you blue, black every day. He's insulting you and you say the person loves you. It's not the fault of that person.
Okay.
Because that young girl has lacked love all her life. And boom, somebody from nowhere comes up
to come and show you love,
pretending to love you, accepting you, and you think it is love. So how will such girls help themselves? The first thing a girl needs to do is love yourself. I think my Bible says you can't say you love the other person if you don't love your own self.
Okay.
So self-love first before you start thinking of somebody else. So by the time you love yourself, appreciate yourself, as I young day, so for example, maybe as I'm still a young girl, I love my skin so much, I appreciate my skin. I don't want anything hot to touch me. So by the time I see you are too hot, excuse you, please, I find my way. Then you have friends that you know, they are girls now, they want to compete with each other. Then you want to now you want to meet up to them. They're like, hold my bag, you know, you don't fit in. After all, you don't have human hair, you don't whatever. And so what are you doing in our midst? So just be following us out. But the question you should ask yourself, what am I doing here? You can only take that because you don't believe in your own self. You don't love yourself. So by the time you love yourself, appreciate yourself, you have self-awareness of yourself, you find out that you don't want to be where people don't accept you, don't love you, you are not welcome. You always want to set your boundaries, want to like, okay, I find out that this person is not it, so Joy, stay your own, let me stay my own. I do it. I do it. There are times
but that power of assertiveness is what most girls don't have. And I don't know how that can be instilled in a girl to say, girlfriend, you are enough. Just you the way you are, you're just enough. And then have that power to say no and mean it. That, okay, this is no, this is no. But it's hard for some girls. So I know as a counselor, you must have met one or two girls like that.
Yes, a lot of them. I've met a lot of them. Like I said earlier, it all boils down to the mindset, upbringing also, and the environment. So if you are from a home that your parents have always battered you, looked down on you, see nothing good in you, and you find yourself in an environment, it clicks.
So parents have a role to play in all of this.
Then religious bodies also have, there are some pastors that talk down on their members.
I will not go to that church again.
So
as simple
by
as
the
that.
time maybe my mother has said not you good for nothing, or father has said it, then you go to church, your religious leader is saying it. So it becomes acceptable to that person. Yes, it becomes acceptable that is the fact. If my mother can say this, can say that, is the fact.
That is who I
yes,
am.
but so they start absorbing it and start living with it. So the first thing I do as a therapist is to unlearn to all you've absorbed.
You should just
start
putting
them.
away.
Is that how you see your own self? So start building affirmation words for you. So those words every morning, every day, start like, oh Sharon, you're beautiful. You know you're special.
Why you not talk like this way? You're beautiful. Yeah, you say your own name.
So do you know there is none, you are specially created. Outside you there is no other.
So you see that to yourself. That's big and that's
remind me
beautiful.
to tell you how bad such words does to people. I have a young girl, a client. Even when I told her, stand in the mirror, what do you see? She said, I'm seeing a monster with two big horns, a long nose, like a devil. I'm like, is that what you see? He said, yes, that is what
she has been made to believe.
So it's time. So with time, we start unlearning what that person has absorbed.
Negative
mindset,
energy,
thoughts inside the person, and start building a positive mindset. So at that period, such persons should stay away. Just stay away from what you know triggers you. Things you know that makes you feel less of yourself. If it's a partner, a friend, just stay away. If it's the environment, stay away from that environment until you are healed. So when you are healed mentally, when you know your well-being is okay, you cannot stand and face the world. And then you will know how to set good boundaries and stand firm on those boundaries.
Wow, that's fantastic, Sharon. All right, at this point, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we will continue with our talk on today's program. Stay tuned. All right, we're here again and ready to make you happy on the program Woman to Woman, and I am with Councillor Sharon. All right, Councillor Sharon, we were talking about girls believing in themselves, you know, speaking positively to themselves, waking up in the morning, and all of that is good. But even with all of this, we are seeing girls who are neck deep into BBL. Okay, their breast is not big enough, their butt is not okay, they are removing ribs to have thinner waist and all of that. They are doing hookup, not because they are hungry, but they just want to do this BBL thing. The microblading and all of that. A young girl wants to do all of that. Why would a young girl want to alter the way she looks if she's normal?
Thank you so much. Like you use the word issues. No.
Yes, why would you want to alter the way God created you?
Boils down to lack of self-esteem in oneself.
This self-esteem now a big thing.
Now very big thing. Self-esteem is very big. How does it say this when enhancing one's body? I remember. If you see my university pictures, like what you are like,
I want to see those pictures.
What is this?
I want to see those pictures, Sharon.
At the time, sometimes
Were you bigger or smaller or how?
I don't know the word.
Okay, like this. Like this, letter one.
More
like
than
this.
letter one. So I think that period, there's this movie that came out, Lekma Shandi.
Okay.
And I schooled in UI. So, apparently they were calling me Lekma Shandi. That's what they call me then in school. So sometimes you hear some people like, you just say, no, this one don't get HIV.
Can you imagine?
So for me to like,
that means you were very, very letter one.
So there was one time someone said, you know, there's some thing, you know, when somebody is slim, it will be so fine, you will love it. But this one, I don't even understand. This kind of this thing. So what did that one?
Did that get to you?
Yeah, it got to me. And I started taking drugs to
add weight.
To add weight. To add weight, I was not taking drugs to add weight so that like, Lord, you are so fine. Look at your boobs, see your hips, see your whatever. And so you feel fat. You don't say you go feel fat like this. So, but inside of me, I knew what I was taking, what I was doing. But at the end of the day, it affected me negatively at the end of the day because my bone, it was not created to carry the kind of weight,
you
yes,
had.
I was supposed to be carrying. So then I won't say, and I will blame myself because then I was still in the healing process. But now, whether I fat, so sometimes they're like, you don't do the thing, no, yeah, you not confine again. So now you don't do the fat, so it's none of my business anymore.
You're just okay the way you are.
Yes, I love myself the way I am. So, because most of these girls don't appreciate themselves, they end up indulging in BBL. So there was a thing I was just asking myself, okay, now everybody microblading, everybody they microblade. So I want my thick lips. It's a trend. Oh, like you say, slim.
Okay, people now want thicker lips.
Yeah, thick
like
lips.
pomo lips.
Yeah, pomo lips and all that and everything. Then pink lips and everything and all that. Then later, you now see these same people again, they'll start removing everything. They'll say, no, now this one, they rain now. And all that. So why stress yourself over a trend, over what we always live out of fashion one day?
And the consequences are all there. I saw somebody whose BBL got burst, and then she said she started smelling. You know, everywhere she enters before all done all of that. Then they now started trying to remove all of those things again and all of that. Why bother?
Because people just want to just want validation, and they just want people to be appealing to people. So I give you an example of myself. I wasn't doing it for myself.
But you were doing it for people's
people. Yes, for people. Yes, when they just keep quiet. When they just keep quiet. I was doing it for people. But at the end of the day, I was the one that was that suffered. Yes, these people are not there to suffer with me.
Okay.
So that is one. So by the time you just accept yourself, love yourself the way you are. So because there are some persons who tell you, oh, I think my children, the younger one and the elder daughter, when they stand, you think they agree the younger one before the
I get it. Your senior daughter took after you. I get it.
Then the other one has hip, bust, everything. And she's always telling it on the face of her elder sister. Sometimes she'll go and shake the buttons in her face. Like other cars, I said, don't mind her, don't worry. You are beautiful the way you are. You are pretty the way you are. This is how God has created you. So appreciate yourself, love yourself. Don't just look at what she's having and all that. Very soon you too.
Just be comfortable in your skin.
Yes. So by the time people seek such help, to build their self-esteem, their self-confidence, it goes a long way in the life of such persons.
All right, Sharon, you've said so much, and I've learned quite a few too. What's your parting statement now as we round up?
Yeah, as we round up, tell young girls out there, love yourself. Like I always say, which I said before, self-love does not mean you are selfish.
Okay.
Before you can say you love the other person, you need to love yourself first. Then learn to appreciate yourself. Then always affirm yourself. Say good things about yourself. If somebody has said you are useless, the question you should ask yourself, am I really useless?
Okay.
So if you find yourself in a toxic relationship, it's not love.
Okay.
Flee if you can, and be where somebody will love you, respect you, appreciate you the way you are. Then if you have friends that are talking down on you,
flee.
Yeah, flee. Change
Flee.
flee. Change your friends.
All right, Councillor Sharon, thank you so
Yeah.
much for finding time to be
Thank
with us on
you.
our show. I really enjoyed
Appreciate
myself.
it.
As
Thank
a
you.
parent, please always ask your daughters this question. Is anybody out there making you feel small or little? Whatever answer that daughter gives to you, please try. Particularly if she says, yes, there's somebody out there making her feel small. From everything that we have talked about today, do you still need me to tell you that you have to cancel that daughter of yours? That is for you to answer. We'll see you again on the program next week. Bye-bye.
ITV, certainly the best.
Benin Cultural Dance, a unique dance and quality dance steps of the Benin people. This dance is a vibrant mix of traditions, arts and beliefs, deeply rooted in the country's diverse ethnic groups and their rich history. The dance has artistic expressions depicting the people's history. Benin people have been famous for bronze and brass work, some of which is said to date back from the 13th century, especially ivory and wood carving. In Benin, the people dance to show respect, honor, dignity, which they honor. They dance to show royalty, as naids are seen in their numbers around their body depicting the symbol of kingship.
ITV, certainly the best.
Good afternoon and welcome to another amazing edition of Itches and Voices, and happy Good Friday to all our listeners and viewers at home. My name is Mamidu Rebecca and I'm the host for Itches and Voices today. And Itches and Voices is brought to you by NAVID, Network for the Advancement of People with Visible Disability, a non-governmental organization that advocates for persons with disabilities here in Edo State. And today we'll be starting a series on a very important conversation, a conversation that is affecting everybody currently in Nigeria, from those using public transport to people that have private cars, even artisans and those that have their personal business. It is the matter of the fuel hike in Nigeria currently. And to do justice to our hearing impaired community, we have Mrs. Cynthia Godwin-Aya, our sign language interpreter for today. And our guest is a very familiar face in the studio. It's Melody Omosan Esquire, the Executive Director of NAVID. Welcome, sir, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, and happy Good Friday to you and listeners and viewers out there.
Thank you very much, sir. So we'll dive right into the conversation, but I'd like for us to start on a broader aspect. What would you say is how would you say is the current economic reality of Nigeria today?
Well, thank you very much. Like you said, we are looking at the hike in the fuel price, and directly that is affecting Nigerians in every sector. We agree with me that fuel is not just an energy thing, it's the engine of our economy, and it affects all sectors. And once there is a hike of that particular commodity, it has a way of triggering the hike in every other goods and services. There's always a ripple effect when there is a fuel hike. Maybe we want to also situate the conversation properly to note why the fuel hike. Recall at the beginning of this administration, on the first day of the 29th of May 2023, His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, pronounced there that subsidy is gone. And so there was an immediate response in the hike of fuel, and with its attendant consequences on the economy. But we have since stabilized from that shock. But what is happening presently, giving rise to the fuel increment, is the ongoing war in the Middle East. If you like, the three-state war, Iran, Israel, and the United States of America, and the Strait of Hormuz, which is an international sea route, which is within the nautical control, about 21 miles in Iran. The space, the wideness of that strait is just about 21 miles, and it is within the contiguous zone of Iran. Iran has effectively shut it down, saying that no international shipping will be allowed on that route because of the war, except with its clearance. It's reported that 20% of fuel, gas, and diesel do pass through daily, that route, and that haven't been effectively closed. There is now a demand that is higher than the supply internationally. And even though Nigeria is an oil-producing country, because fuel and its prices, crude oil is traded internationally, the effect is also coming to us. So that's what is giving rise presently to the fare hike. And of course, you agree with me that in some places, the cost of buying a liter of petrol, the motor spirit, PMS, petroleum motor spirit, has gone as much as 100% in some area. Fuel today ranges between 1,200 and 1,500, depending on your location in the country. And once there is a rise in the price of fuel, it affects every area of the economy.
Okay, and you made mention of the crisis in the Middle East being the main reason why the fuel hike is happening again currently after the fuel subsidy was removed in 2023 by our president.
Yes.
So how would you rate the experience right now? Do you think it should be happening now, or the effect we're having right now is coming way too sudden?
Well, Nigeria is not insulated from the international community. And so once there is a disruption of crude, the supply of crude, we are seeing the immediate effect. Howbeit, that ordinarily should not be. One, since we are an oil-producing country. And secondly, if only we have some control, we have strategic reserve, and we are able to respond to shock when disruptions like this occur. At NAVID in 2023-2024, between the month of November and 2023 and April 2024, we embarked on a research, the Resilient Net, empowering adaptivity and inclusivity for persons with disabilities in emergency during that first cycle of the rise of fuel, to study the effect it had on persons with disabilities. It was discovered that it's 3 times more disadvantaged and disproportionately affects persons with disabilities. And at the end of that research, certain recommendations were made for which, if government had responded adequately, measures would have been put in place to at least cushion the effects, so that it does not immediately begin to have a toll on Nigerians, and not to talk of persons with disabilities. Everyone seems to be vulnerable, but there are those who are more vulnerable, who are 3 times more disadvantaged and disproportionately affected by this hike in price. So to answer you straightly, it's now that we are not even importing refined product, because thank God, as at 2023, when we had the first removal of fuel subsidy, the Dangote refinery has not come on board upstream. But today, Dangote is able to meet our local needs and is even exporting refined products to other African countries. And I think that government should have been able to, on the general note, see that Nigerians are somewhat insulated, and at least this may not last for too long. We are not asking for a return or reintroduction of subsidy, but this is what government should have been able to handle within the next 2-3 months, why this lasts, why this crisis, international crisis, happens, so that Nigerians are kind of protected. If Dangote still gets crude oil from the NNPC at the pre-war dollar rate, I'm sure the government would have reached that understanding that, look, we are going to maintain the supply to you, whereas we will respond internationally to the demand of the international market. But as far as you are concerned and you are refining for the use of Nigerians, we will give you the pre-war rate, and so let not Nigerians suffer any increment. But that has not happened. It's affecting everyone, and like I said, persons with disabilities are worse hit by this.
So let's bring this back home more. So how will you say, or what will you say is the effect being faced by persons with disability that maybe an average Nigerian might not know about? So take us more into the effect or what persons with disabilities are facing currently due to the fuel hike.
All right, thank you very much. Again, like I said, energy is a fuel hike. It's not just an energy issue. It's a social. It affects every area of our life, economically, socially, and even medically. And we depend on fuel. The reality is that we depend on fuel daily. Sometimes we may not know it directly, but the truth of the matter, everything we do will depend on fuel. Whether directly, if you want to have fuel to run your business, to power your plants or generator, you buy fuel at a higher cost, means that it's a higher cost of getting that goods or service out to the customers, and that will reduce their power to engage, power to purchase. If you talked about commuting from one place to the other, once the price of fuel is hiked, transporters are bound to raise their fares. And for persons with disability, without the hike of fuel, they spend much more than others without disabilities to commute from one place to another. I've often posited the reality that an employee with disability, for instance, would need, instead of following the general vehicle, for entering taxi or bus to get to his or her workplace, we normally rely on chartered vehicles because of his or her disabilities that will pick him or her from home and drop them off at their workplace at a higher cost. That cost now is going to go up. What about those who go around with an aid? So if it will cost you the hike to transport you and your aid at 3,000 per a short kilometer, and it's now doubled, whereas there is no correspondent increase in your revenue, it's already a toll, a burden. So you see that for persons with disabilities, that needs to transport themselves and their aid or rely on chartering of vehicles, the price is immediately hiked for them, and there is no safety net to cushion this effect. I'm not even sure that generally government has rolled out any palliatives, put in place any cushioning effect for Nigerians, not to talk of persons with disabilities. Those that run businesses is affecting them. Those that need to seek, so when you spend much in transportation, it means that it will also now affect the places that you go. You do not just go anywhere that you want to go. You pick where you want to go. Some people will even stop going for social events. The research we did that I mentioned 3 years ago, I was just looking at that before this program, and where it found out that because of the hike of price, about 60% of the respondents in that research said they no longer go out except to religious places of worship, and when they are invited and they are sure they are going to get a transport reimbursement. Others, 40%, say they don't even go out at all. When there's little money because you have to spend so much on transportation, it compromises your health. You no longer so it's the effect is just all over. But I think that something needs to be done to ensure that there is some form of stability, and persons with disability, in spite of the hike, are able to function in the system.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. You made mention of the project that you did at NAB with ResilientNet, if I'm correct.
Yes.
So please, can you tell us more about that project, and was it very involved in FOI and the FOI hike as of that time? Can you tell us more about the project?
Well, it was a research to find out firsthand at the removal of subsidy then affected PWDs, persons with disabilities. There was a key informant interview where those who were in charge of providing services to persons with disabilities across ministry, department, and agencies of government were interviewed. There was also a focus group across the 3 senatorial districts of the state, going to Auchi, Ekpoman, and here in Benin City. About 60 households were also visited across the 3 senatorial districts to find out the impacts of this fuel subsidy removal. And I tell you that the findings were very staggering. And it was that bad that people with disabilities consider it very frustrating, critical, and some persons even were entertaining suicidal thoughts at that time because businesses literally crumbled. Parents have to withdraw their children from school. People went as low as 1 meal a day, with parents keeping their meals for their children and all that. Parents who have children with disabilities withdrew them from school, saying that they do not have the resources to cater for their children without disabilities, not to talk of those with disabilities. So it was that bad. And it was part of the reason we very strongly pushed for a disability law and commission, that we begin to put protection policies in place for persons with disabilities. Once there is an emergency, this is something that has happened. We must be prepared. There must be shock absorber, if you like. Government must put in place things to respond to shock. Where is our strategic reserve? American can boast today that they have the highest oil reserve. Just yesterday, when Trump had addressed America, he was boasting that they do not even rely on oil from the Middle East. And so what is happening in the Strait of Hormuz does not directly affect Americans because they have their reserve. What are we doing? Should anything that happens in the world immediately begin to boomerang on Nigerians and persons with disabilities for that matter? I think that we can act differently and begin to know that eventualities like this are bound to happen. If this war has lasted up to a year and we begin to see what is happening now, we will take it that, because it was prolonged. But not to have an answer because there's a crisis somewhere miles away from our shores, and we are already, because they are sneezing there, we are already catching cold here, and speaks of lack of planning and preparedness on the sides whose responsibilities are to look after the welfare of Nigerians.
Oh, thank you very much, sir, for that. So I would like to ask, do you think that the day-to-day decision of the government, do you think when they make this decision, they have persons with disabilities in mind, or you think they are being overlooked when it comes to the day-to-day decisions of the government?
Well, it's just what I'm speaking to. First of all, about the decision they make. This is an emergency, if you like. Let me say, because I'm not sure at the time the 2026 budget was prepared, government saw this coming. So this, no doubt, is an emergency. But I wouldn't know, I'm not aware of any program or plan government has specifically for persons with disabilities in response to this emergency. I think for now, Nigerians should have even have been seeing, it would not have been out of place for government to say this is what they are doing for Nigerians. This is how, even for workers that have to go to work every day, this is what they want to do for them. If even means taking a day or two off for them to reduce the number of days they come to work, for those who can work remotely and provide the means, engage them to work. It's not as if the work should not be done, but just to respond to what is happening. If that is not happening nationally, I'm not aware of what they are doing for persons with disabilities specifically. Yeah. At least I live in a community, and I'm not aware that the interest of people with disabilities is even being considered in situations like this.
Wow, it has been an amazing time in the studio, but we'll be going on a very short break, and when we come back, Melody Omosa Esquire will continue to tell us more on the topic. Welcome back from that very short break. We have Barrister Melody Omosa in the studio with us today, still talking on the issue of fuel hike in Nigeria and its current effect on persons with disability. So before we went on this break, we were talking about how there should be a shock absorber, in your words, in case of emergencies like this. Okay, sir, since we're already in the situation right now, you made mention of how probably we could reduce maybe the days that persons with disability come for work, for instance, as a way to control, since we already have the problem of the fuel hike, as a way to control it now. So are there more things you think you would want to suggest for the government to do to control the, since it's already here and it cannot be prevented, it's already here. So what do you think can be done to make the whole issue of the fuel hike less difficult for persons with disabilities?
Well, government must be ready to invest in persons with disabilities surviving the hike, ability to cope with the hike. That would be a strategic investment in a society that is resilient and diverse and that is inclusive minded, because we have people with disabilities that form part of the polity and the economy, and their contribution cannot be cannot be sidetracked, cannot be overlooked. And it is to that extent that government must roll out measures that will directly address the effects or impact of this hike as it relates to persons with disabilities. One of which would be a direct, like I've already mentioned, for those who are working, see how government can consider giving them optional days to come to work, or put in place ability to work remotely. Government also can consider giving some stipends in terms of rebates for fuel. If government wants to introduce to say, okay, why this last, government is going to subsidize, and this is not just for persons with disability who are working, but people who are also in businesses with disability. Once they have their record, this is what the much we will do to subsidize the impact of this fuel hike for persons with disabilities. And of course, for those who are not employed, who are not working, you must know and agree with me that the burden is even tripled on them, because ordinarily they would depend on people to assist them. Such persons that they depend on are already stressed by the economy, and so it will be important for such unemployed persons with disabilities to be empowered either with a skill that will help them to have their own work, or where they have the requisite qualification, government should ensure that they are employed. Something must be put in place that targets persons with disability, that will help them to be resilient, and that will help them to go through this shock that is happening. Government must mitigate the shock as it affects persons with disabilities.
Thank you very much, sir. It has been an exciting time in the studio today. And like the barrister mentioned earlier, it would be nice if the government meets persons with disability, even if it's halfway, if it's by reducing the days of the days they have to show up at work, or providing stipends to help contain the current fuel hike and how it's affecting persons with disability. Like I said, it's been an exciting time in the studio today. I want to say thank you very much to those that are watching us at home and to our listeners that are following us at the radio. And happy Good Friday again. Thank you for joining us. And remember, spot the itch and be a voice. Till next week.
ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best.
Behind the glass doors of cold rooms and freezers lies a major source of protein for many households. Frozen chicken, turkey, and fish have become common food items in homes, restaurants, and food businesses across the country. From importation and storage to transportation and final sales, frozen food passes through a chain that is highly dependent on electricity, fuel, and efficient handling. Any disruption along the chain often reflects to the final price paid by consumers. On this edition of Market Survey, we examine the current prices of frozen chicken, turkey, and fish, the factors influencing their cost, and how traders are responding to the market conditions. Frozen chicken, turkey, and fish are largely sourced through importation and large-scale distribution, making their prices sensitive to several factors. Traders explain that costs related to import duties, foreign exchange, transportation, and storage play a significant role in determining market prices. Cold room operator says the cost of running generators has increased as frozen food require constant power supply to prevent spoilage. Fuel expenses, maintenance of cold storage facilities, and logistics all add to operational costs, which are often passed on to consumers. At the retail level, traders price frozen items based on size, weight, and type. Prices can also vary depending on supply levels and consumer demand. During the period of high demand, such as festive season, prices tend to rise, while lower demand often leads to slower sales. Consumers say frozen chicken, turkey, and fish remain important protein sources, but prices changes have affected buying habits. weight. Many buyers now opt for smaller portion, cheaper alternative or less frequent purchases in response to rising costs.
Welcome to Market Survey. On this edition of Market Survey, we are currently in the market to get to know the current price of frozen chicken, frozen turkey, and frozen fish. So stick with us as we get to know the current price of these various items. I am Stephanie Notoriua. Chicken and turkey day for market now, the price is not come down.
Yes, it don't come down.
So how much they sell kilo for chicken?
No, they sell on 6,000. Chicken wings they sell on 7,000. The turkey na 9,500.
How much they sell on before?
Before turkey na 10,000, chicken na 7,650. But it don't drop now. Chicken wings they sell on 8,000 now, but now they sell on 7,000.
It's a drop.
Don't they go like a month now?
So how much they buy for cattle? So that cattle until they carry.
They buy cattle 55 for chicken. The turkey now they buy 90.
How much they carry
before now?
For the chicken.
For the turkey.
What of the chicken?
Chicken they buy 65.
You see corner pass it.
Yes. I don't get believe say go corner pass on. No be say not guess it, but I guess this time around it go come down. Now this they change this. The money they change, now the money the chicken they drop.
Before they sell on 5,000.
So that's 6,000 at the last price now?
Yeah, this is on last price.
So how much until they carry give this carton, this small carton?
This carton now 10 kg and then as it be so now 60,000. Some people will give it 62,000. So it depends on how the price they come for them. Yeah, so that's what it be.
So how much until they sell on before?
Before they sell on 50,000.
So it don't increase now?
Yes, it don't increase.
So what about turkey? How much they sell kilo?
Kilo now for turkey now 9,000. Before now 8,750.
So that means it does still go up?
Yes.
How much they sell the carton?
The carton are 90 for now 90,000.
We say no they frozen, we say no block. And the one we say it can't block. Like the price is the difference if people want buy and they'll say this one no block.
Not the same price. Not the same because if you sell at a lower price, now with that loss, it's loss.
Chicken, frozen turkey, and frozen fish. So come with us as we get to know these prices. I am Stephanie Notoriua. How much are they sell Scooby and fish now?
1 and 4,000. 4,000 naira. Before we dey sell 1,500, 1,000. But now it can't even worse pass. This must be 4,000 naira. One cattle at 198. 198,000. Then at 200 now.
How much did they carry on before?
Before, you never reach 120. 198 for one cattle. Say we carry 150. 15,000. But now 95,000.
Get another type of Scooby and solo.
I know they said that one. Now let's Scooby and they say.
So but that one still there on the high side?
No, that one they cheap, but not the sweet. That one they cheap, but not the sweet. Some make us not the seller. 150, we fit manage. You buy one fish like this 4,000 take cool soup. Now wasting our time now. Because before a ton soup it don't break. Before it not be like that.
from our market survey show that the prices of frozen chicken, turkey, and fish remain closely tied to operational cost and supply conditions. Traders says expenses related to storage, fuel, and transportation continue to influence price and decision. While they all acknowledge the importance of these food items in their daily meal, many say affordability remains a challenge. As a result, buying patterns have shifted, with households adjusting quantity and meals plans to manage expenses. For traders, the market remained competitive as the balance rising cost with the need to attract customers. Despite these challenges, frozen chicken, turkey, and fish continue to play a key role in household nutrition. As economic conditions evolve, monitoring the prices of frozen food provides insight into broader issues affecting food supplies and household spending. Traders report slow patronage, explaining that while goods are valuable, consumers are more cautious with spending. The balance between keeping frozen food affordable and covering operational costs remains a daily struggle for sellers. As market activity continues, the price of frozen chicken, turkey, and fish serve as a reflection of broader economic pressure affecting food supply and household budget. For now, traders continue to adjust to these realities, navigating a market shaped by rising costs and changing demand. Sellers explain that frozen product requires uninterrupted power supply to prevent spoilage. As a result, operators depend heavily on generators, making fuel cost a significant part of their daily expenses. These costs, combined with transportation and market levies, continue to influence the final price paid by consumers. Despite the availability of frozen chicken, turkey, and fish in the market, patronage remains slow. Traders say many customers now buy in smaller quantities or reduce how often they purchase frozen food as they try to manage limited household budgets. For traders, the situation has created a difficult balance. While they strive to keep prices within the reach of consumers, they must also cover operational costs to avoid losses. Some say profit margins have dropped, while others worry about sustaining their businesses if costs continue to rise. As the market adjusts, frozen chicken, turkey, and fish remain essential food items for many families. However, their prices continue to reflect broader economic pressure affecting food supply and consumption patterns. In the end, the frozen market tells a larger story, one of resilience, adaptation, and the everyday struggle to balance nutrition with affordability. As conditions evolve, both traders and consumers continue to navigate challenging market environment.
examples of frozen chicken, frozen turkey, and bits of the ice that are supposed to have what sold. And that brings us to this edition of Market Survey. I am Stephanie Dr. Iwa.
ITV, certainly the best.
This is Aqua Game, a popular game in Africa played by our ancestors to entertain themselves after each day of farming. It is also relevant in our coronation in Africa. It is a sport and indeed very interesting, as every seed had a role in the game. Playtime is 45 minutes per set. There is no age limit as long as you can spin aqua seed. Ayo or aqua game, known as the game of intellectual. This game requires a lot of mathematical skills. Aqua game is played with carved wooden box containing 12 holes.
The threat of global warming is real. You have seen the destruction of lives and property as a result of incessant flooding. Make the environment a conducive place for all to live in. Stop polluting the environment. Protect the environment today. This message is brought to you courtesy Independent Television and Radio.
What does one do with a bunch of memories? Laugh about them, cry over them, or capture them? I know what I'll do with such memories. I'll showcase those memories. Yes, I will show them to the world. I will flaunt those memories. Showcase that marriage ceremony of yours. Burial ceremony? Yes, let the people know that you buried your person in a grand style. Thanksgiving, ordination, baby dedication, housewarming party, and lots more on your entertainment program, Memories, on Independent Television. Every Sunday, remember, for your event to be considered thick and classic, then it has to be on Memories. Memories. Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
ITV, certainly the best.